Welcome everyone back to another episode of My Week in LEGO. This is the series where I discuss all the things that we did and accomplished in the world of LEGO. This is for the week of January 20th, we'll just say the last week of January. We'll pick this one up where I left last week's off, and that was briefly discussing Drawitect and how it made its return, at least for one episode. If you guys don't know what Drawitect is, it was a little series that I started years ago on Brickitect Live where I'd have people write in suggestions in the chat and then I would try to draw those things very poorly in most cases, or actually in all cases. I've been wanting to make this series come back and it just seemed like the perfect time because my friend Felix from our Discord, he posted this leak, Dane's Golden Dragon Jet. And this leak had a description of it, but not a photo. And this description was like super detailed. So what I decided to do was to go live right after that on Felix's encouragement. And I was acting as though I was like this great artist when we all know that's not the truth. But I was kind of playing this character and I drew it and had a lot of fun with it. As far as its reception, it didn't do super well on the channel. Live streams usually don't. It was just something that was very different from what I usually do, and that's usually a recipe for disaster on any YouTube channel. And that one kind of tanked a little bit, but I still had fun with it. And for me, that's the most important thing. So maybe we'll see another Drawitect someday in the future. I just need the right thing to come up, and definitely some more design skills, which I could certainly use those, but through the videos that I make, maybe I can practice and become quite the digital artist, which would be like just a really cool goal to accomplish. The next video that I made after my week in LEGO last week was kind of one that I was like, hey, I'd like to make a video today on something, and I looked around trying to figure out what that thing was going to be, and I decided that it was going to be the LEGO Technic Motorcycle that I got, my second 2022 set that I've built this year. The motorcycle was actually much better than I thought it was going to be. This was sort of a filler piece that I bought because I needed to hit a certain threshold to get the promos that I was trying to get when I made my first LEGO order of this year. And it was surprisingly good. Like, it didn't just have the chain, which was the thing that I was most drawn to. It also has a working engine in it, and I made a mistake in the video that not everyone caught, which was fun. It was only one person told me that I put the exhaust in the wrong spot. And I went and looked at it, I was like, oh, Sugar Shack. And I actually looked in the manual and I was like, yeah, I see where I went wrong. It was very hard to tell exactly where this exhaust was supposed to go, but I built that setup. I actually liked it. It's a good entry point into Technic if you've never built a Technic set before and you're like, I don't really want to go Bugatti level. I have $10 to spend. What should I get? I would jump on that motorcycle, not literally, but metaphorically, I would jump on that and give it a shot and see if you like Technic, because that's a great way to get into it, and then you can just start going and going and going. I'm actually looking back through my channel here to figure out what I did next, and it was the Saturday stream. I decided to start a little thing here on the channel where I would do a live stream every Saturday in like the afternoon time where I actually work on something or get something built. One of those things where it's nice to chat with everyone and kind of be a part of that while also getting something done, whether it be sorting or cleaning up or building something, getting it out of the backlog. I feel like it's good for me, and I know a lot of people enjoy kind of sitting down and just hanging out while we chat about things. And this past week's episode was so much fun. I had such a great time chatting with everybody. The conversation was great. We got a bunch of super chats, and I decided that I want to use the super chat money that we've been getting towards a big thing that's on my list of things to get, thanks to Ryan, them and our productions. It's the AT-AT. It was one of those things where I already have one AT-AT, and I was like, okay, I'm good with that. I got it free at yard sale. Then I got another one, which was the ATM-6 from the Last Jedi? I don't remember which movie it was from, but I have two AT-ATs, and I felt like that was fine. That wasn't until I saw Ryan's video where he loaded his UCS AT-AT with all of the snowtroopers, and I was like, dang, I want that set. So I decided that all of the super chats that we get from December, when I kind of came up with this idea to do this, I actually did a poll, and by far the most things that people wanted to see was the Daily Bugle. That was the thing that most people voted on, but I overruled that. I said, let's go bigger. So I decided to go for a set that costs twice as much and will probably take me 6 times as long to get to in terms of saving for. I have about $200 in VIP points that I'm put towards it. And for my math that I've done, we've generated about $184 in super chats. So we're like halfway there, and I just think it's cool. I know it's like talking about money is taboo in many cases, and it's like it makes you uncomfortable, right? Because that's what we've been trained on. But for me, it's like if you're gonna donate and send money like via super chat or whatever, wouldn't it be cool to know that that's going towards something? It's not just going in your pocket. It's going to be something that gets built, something that I stream and share on the channel. And I think that's a cool thing. So that's what I'm saving up for. And it's going to be really exciting when we finally get to that point. And I'm hoping that it's in stock when that happens. But anyways, back to the Imperial Probe Droid. I got that thing finished. It actually turned out really nicely. I like the look of it. It is a little not playable. If you're getting this to swoosh it around, I wouldn't recommend that. Clark did a little bit of it, but it was sketchy to say the least. The tentacles, as I was calling them, like its arms, they're kind of flimsy. They don't sit very well, but when you put it on display and you have it sitting there, it's just fine. It's going to sit there just fine, and there's no issues there. And I think that's what probably 99.9% of collectors that get this are probably going to do with it. I continually see it on eBay for like super cheap. So if you're trying to get the Imperial Probe Droid, maybe you watch the stream, or maybe it's one of those sets that eluded you, you can definitely go get that pretty cheap and build it up. Just be careful with its tentacles, or whatever the heck they're called. After that was all built, Clarkman, who I guess was inspired by my Star Wars building, he decided to go into the storage room of doom, which is right behind you, beware, and he pulled out the Stormtrooper helmet. This is a set that I bought specifically for him because every time we go to Target, he would see that set and he would talk about how he wanted it. I always kind of kept him away from getting it because I felt like it was too difficult for him, but he ended up building a How Bad Is It set during this week that was very difficult, extremely hard to build, very janky, and somehow, some way he built this thing and got it fully completed. It was definitely one of the worst How Bad Is It's that we've done. Usually there's some redeeming qualities, and usually stuff isn't nearly as bad as what maybe we think of them being in the LEGO space, being that we're so, I guess, spoiled by really great quality. He built this thing and I was like, all right, dude, if you can build the City Project Mecha jankaroni build, you can definitely build the Stormtrooper helmet. So on Sunday afternoon, that's exactly what he did. By the evening, we were watching the Bengals AFC championship game against the Chiefs. I know this isn't Sports Detect, but man, that was one of the best games that I've seen in recent history, and that's including last weekend's games, which are incredible, and Sports Talk. But Clarkman finished that thing up. I did a couple little fixes on it because there was a little misalignment on like the face area, and it was done, and he was proud of it. I was proud of him. We shot a little video of it being completed, and that was a lot of fun. It was like one of those moments where my 7-year-old took his Lego building this weekend like to the next level, and it was so memorable for me for that. And then also because we were watching that game and I was trying to teach Clark a little bit about football, and he was getting into it as well. Apparently he became a Bengals fan. Total bandwagon rider is what he is. But it was just like really awesome to experience that, and I'm glad that I have a little bit of video to remember that by, because it was so cool. And the video was hilarious. I felt like you guys seemed to enjoy it as well, but it was great. So that kind of took us through the week, and then now we're into another week of My Week in Lego, which I'm still trying to get these on track somehow, because it's like middle of the week for me, and I'm talking about things that happened like 10 days ago, and I'd like to make it so these videos come out like on a Sunday or a Monday, like Sunday ideally. That way it's like wrapping up the week. This is what happened between Monday and Saturday. That would be great. So we'll keep working on that, and we'll keep doing My Week in Lego. Every time we get some stuff done, we'll share here with you. It saves you some time if you don't have time to watch all the videos, which, you know, maybe this is actually longer than all of our videos combined, but this is kind of the behind the scenes, the missing pieces, if you will, of our week, and just my thoughts on all the stuff that we did, and yeah, how I feel about it, and I guess some recaps on how the videos did and what's going on with the peeps, you know, whether people are getting my jokes when I'm doing Drawitect, or if they're liking us building Star Wars sets, or if, you know, live streams, whatever it is. I'm hoping that what we're doing is hitting with people, and if it's not, I try to pivot if I can. But ultimately, it comes down to doing what you love, and I've always found, at least in my life through YouTube, that when I focus on that, success follows. So on that, guys, thank you so much for watching This Week in Lego, My Week in Lego, My Week in Lego. I hope you have a glorious rest of your day and week, and we'll see you in the next episode.